So in the news since yesterday, there's been a cyber attack, they said, on a company called Stryker, as well as some other companies. The one Stryker company makes medical devices, so it seems to be connected to the pandemic with the 311, because the cyber attack happened on 311, and it's on medical devices company, Stryker. And it also seems to connect to the show The Pit, where they were showing during the Super Bowl commercials that there's a blackout in a hospital. And remember that Super Bowl's theme at the halftime was about a blackout. Now, this was an attack, a retaliation, Iran said, for the USA attack with a missile on the Iranian school that killed all the school kids. Okay, let's get into what the news is calling how we had twin attacks yesterday. The synagogue event. This was in West Bloomfield, Michigan. And so you had a perpetrator there ram their car, and they were saying that it was a car crash, a CC, and they drove straight through the doors and was driving inside the building, they said. And it was the 13th day of the war that this happened. Temple, Israel. And they were saying that their car had bombs in it, mortars, and then later they had changed it to it had firework. These were likely firework mortars. So they're telling you that these are pyrotechnic devices. They're telling you that it's staged. And this place had a preschool, they said at first, and then a daycare. So it has some kind of school connection with kids there. And this connects to the Iranian school being bombed. They're saying that he ran over somebody, a guard, then he got burned up by his own stuff. And in the name, they had the West Bloomfield. And they were saying, they brought up Kanye West and was saying how he made a bunch of people anti-Jewish. So have that West in there. And then he used fire. So the pyrotechnics is connects to like the Joker, and then the Phoenix symbol. So he's like a martyr, and Burning Man, and the Joker, he uses fire. And then you have like V for Vendetta, who was in the fire and all burned up. And remember the other year, Kanye West had that Donda event, and it was like a burning house. And then they also brought up how there was an event there last year in September in 2025 at the Grand Blanc Township Church. They had said that the synagogue is an hour away from the church that also had an event last year in September. And they had a guy with the AK-47, and this was on September 28th, 25. And they said that it happened until 10:33 a.m. And this was on the 42nd degree on the map. Many 47s in the story. And they were saying at that one that the police officer arrived within 30 seconds of the first call. This event yesterday happened at 12:19, like 19 hijackers, COVID-19, 19, and they're connected to chaos. At the same time, they're showing how AI videos are spreading online and going viral and causing chaos. AI is 19. They're like, watch out, some of these war videos are fake. You can't tell the difference, so we got to tell you. And they kept saying how in late October and early November 2025, the FBI thwarted an alleged ISIS-inspired terrorist plot targeting the Detroit and Michigan area over the Halloween weekend. So they brought up that Halloween plot, okay, which was like a trick. So they're bringing up all these made-up events to connect to this one. FBI, they said that the perpetrator's family had been killed by Israel in Lebanon due to their recent strikes. So it was like a retaliation. They said that his age is 41. It could connect somehow, maybe to his age 42 coming up. I'm not sure. I haven't looked, but maybe it could connect to it. Now let's talk about the other twin event yesterday, the event in Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. And this was an ISIS terrorist, they're saying. This university, Old Dominion, has an establishment date on 3/13, and that's today. So yesterday it happened right before the establishment date. Probably not a coincidence. And it's Friday the 13th, and it happened on the 13th day of the war. How they were saying Iran had attacked 13 different countries. Last year, the war started on the Friday the 13th. The guy they said was stabbed by the ROTC, and another hero angle. The guy was arrested supposedly in 2016 and was imprisoned for 7 years until last year. And he was a former National Guardsman turned ISIS. So it seems to me that, one, he could be an actor still in the military acting for them. Two, they're trying to connect him as a National Guard, like the way Trump's using them as like domestic terrorists, by sending all these troops everywhere, and then connecting, because there seems to be some connection between. All right, and then we had that Air Force refueling jet crash. And they said that there's 5 on board, and I think today they changed it to 6. And it has to do with fuel, like fuel, like gas, connect to oil. Could have some connection to the oil being blocked in the strait. Connection to like a falling again, like the 42. And then also they were saying that it's a Boeing, so it's a Boeing connection to 2001 and everything in 1968. But then you also have, they said it's a KC-135 Stratotanker. So they're saying KC-11-3. And they keep saying Central Command, CC. The other recent deaths of the USA soldiers that was hit by the drones, the Central Command had waited to post till 4:02, and there was 6 of those soldiers as well at first, and they were saying that there was 4 identified and 2 still not identified. And remember, one of those people, Noah, was 42 years old. Had waited till 3:29, so connected to 3:30, to mention this death on 3/8. This post, CENTCOM waited till 4:02 to mention the deaths. All right, let's talk about the gas prices. Here's the strait that's 33 kilometers wide, they showed us. And then a week within the war, they're saying that the gas prices rose up 33 cents and that it had a national average of 3.3. This is all connected to this war that has to do with nukes. Been wondering how the nukes are scripted with 33. Right now you have the news and a lot of people talking about how the Strait of Hormuz is stopping the fertilizer for the farmers, which is what Trump was supposed to be helping. And they're saying that it's 33% of the world's fertilizer comes through there. And this 33% fertilizer blockage had made the futures surge up 33 cents. Here, let's watch the news and see what they have to say about it.
In 2022, that shaved off, on average, 17 to 42 cents per gallon on your gas bill at the pump, per gallon. So to see that this rise of 62 cents over the past almost 2 weeks, and 42 cents was the average result of the last time global action was coordinated like this, that doesn't really, bring a lot of confidence into, okay, are these measures gonna work? What will work, and what has sent the price of oil down from $120 to like $87, is word that the Strait of Hormuz was going to open and have Navy escort ships. That news, of course, turned out to be false, but that is the only thing that is going to bring these oil prices down at this point. News that the Strait can be opened.
Well, we just looked at oil prices live, and we're at 100 again. By the way, you mentioned California. The national average is 359. The average in California is 536, the highest gas prices in the country. Mike Valerio doesn't have to pay those in Beijing. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. Now, that war with Iran is triggering.
Notice how the news is all giddy at this time that we're in. And we're in this together, but we're in a crisis right now, an emergency. And just notice how the news channels, they're all giddy and happy. It's almost like they're all getting paid extra money or something somehow. All right, so the last thing is the Republicans, they're voting no on the TSA funding. And the Democrats, they're voting no for the DHS funding because of the ICE. And I just wanted to bring up how the TSA, it was put in after the 2001 thing because of that, and then how ICE was put in after the 2001 thing because of that.